Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Welcome you in the 9th lecture regarding technology transfer through strategic alliance and the joint venture. And I am still in the module on joint venture, and now I am specifically talk on key compliance. Now, in the key compliance, my talks concentrate on what are the things you should address before you go for formal agreement of joint venture. Now, in these particular talks, I do not differentiate about the foreign joint venture or the joint venture with the foreign partner and the domestic joint venture. I take both the thing together, and so you might find somewhere it is confusing. So, I am going to explain in which point is for a foreign joint venture and which point is for applicable for both domestic as well as foreign joint venture. My first point is to check the sectoral cap for the foreign direct investment in the proposed joint venture. Now, I have referred these particular talks in my last lecture too. Let me detail out this particular issue here in this talk. Now, if you are looking for a foreign partner to make an investment with you in a joint venture, then in that case you need to go through the sectoral guideline, and which are the places you should see this particular sectoral guideline. The first thing which you need to look into is RBI guideline relating to the sectoral cap. In some cases, there is a automatic approval, that means RBI prescribe that a particular amount of investment can be done without taking a formal approval, and in some cases you need to take approval before you make an investment. So, if it is automatic, then you will find it will go through FIPB, Foreign Investment Promotion Board. So, you have to look into what is their prescriptions relating to a particular sectors, and please do remember this particular segment is not fixed, it is revised periodically, and it is also prescribed additional compliances relating to the investment criteria, which I am going to talk you little detail after some time. Then you need to look into is there any regulation which prescribed by a capital market regulator relating to foreign direct investment, because if you are promoting or incorporating a public limited company as a product of joint venture agreement, then in that circumstances you need to take a necessary permission from the capital market regulator, that is Security Exchange Board of India, in short they known as SEBI. And in those circumstances also you need to look into the other requirement like listing requirement and you might require to fulfill those particular listing criteria if you want to list your company in post incorporation. Apart from this, there is other sectoral regulators. So, whatever the regulator I talked with you right now, they are basically the central regulator, or you can say the one of the regulator, like RBI is a regulator of a money market. RBI also a regulator of foreign investment, and they are basically regulated in the national market, if you can say, if I can say like this. But apart from that, there might be a sectoral regulator. That means a particular market might have a particular regulator who controls that particular market. Let us take example that it can be relating to financial instrument, like if it is a mutual fund, then there might be some regulator who regulates this particular thing. If it is relating to other production facility, like if it is power sector, then again you will find there is a specific regulators are there. If it is relating to some of the other sector might be relating to telecommunications and all this, then again you will find a sector. So, what I am trying to drawing your attention that in some of the sector you might find there is a sectoral regulators, and this sectoral regulator is prescribed the additional criteria in case of investment, and these are basically commonly known as sectoral cap, and sectoral caps is generally prescribed by the RBI as well as the sectoral regulator together many of the time, or even sometimes you will find the RBI do prescribe, because RBI also administer Foreign Exchange Management Act, which is dealing with the foreign exchange inflow and outflow, and that is the reason they do also prescribe the regulation relating to the sectoral cap. So, the sectoral cap is very important in case of a foreign joint venture, foreign partner making an investment into a joint venture. So, this particular provision is only applicable if there is a cross boundary joint venture. Now, let me come into the next point is relating to the drafting of memorandum of understanding, promoters agreement, drawing detailed terms and condition of the joint venture. Now, drafting of memorandum of understanding for a joint venture is sort of an umbrella agreement. You might detail out the every aspect of the joint venture in that, or you might not detail out every aspect of the joint venture. So, what you can do, you can create a umbrella agreement, and within the umbrella agreement you can have a several small more agreement, and I will suggest you to do that, because sometimes you need to change the agreement, and if you change the agreement, a particular agreement or agreement on the particular aspect, then you actually do not disturb the entire agreement, but you only redraft or re-accept that particular agreement itself. So, in case of memorandum of understanding, you generally talk about the capital infusion or the finance which the parties will contribute in the venture. You might talk about the technology which you are going to share or which you are going to develop in the future, or which you are going to use for development of the product in the market. You might talk about the control in a new venture within that particular technology. You might talk about the expansion of the business in other market or export right into that particular venture, so much so forth. So, I am going to detail out that what should be the content of a joint venture agreement in my subsequent lectures. But for your understanding, you should keep kind of a umbrella agreement for a joint venture. And within the umbrella agreement, you should have a promoters agreement. Promoters agreement are generally talks about that how the parties in this particular organization will behave in a future or in a post incorporation scenario, regarding the change of ownership, regarding the infusion of a new capital, regarding the exit of the partner from that particular venture. So, the promoters agreement is very important for the future reference, as well as how the company or the business organization which has been formed out of the joint venture agreement, how they are going to go ahead or how they are going to be managed in the future. Similarly, you might also draw the details, terms and conditions relating to other issues, maybe relating to the technology transfer, relating to the absorption of the technology, relating to the know-how of the technology which you have passed through. If there is a new technology which is developed out of this joint venture, how who will have a right over that particular technology. If you wanted to export a particular product which is coming out of that particular newly developed technology, who is going to have that particular export right, so much so forth. So, you detail out many issues which might going to affect your joint venture in future. Then you talk about the name, proposed name or the trade name of the joint venture. Now, this is quite significant issue in case of the joint venture. Are you going to give the partner's name in the joint venture, or are you going to give a new name into the joint venture? Many of the time people do want the partner name to continue in the new joint venture organization or new company which is coming out of the joint venture, because it gives the credibility into the market where they want to establish themselves. Take an example. If you find that a company, insurance company coming in Indian market, they always try to take some of the established known operator into the market, and then they co-branded that particular company in the Indian market. Like you will find Birla Sun. Birla is a known operator in Indian market, and people has a quite a faith on this management or this group of people. At the same time, Sun is one of the known insurance provider in overseas market. So, whenever they are forming their company, they are keeping these two name in their joint venture, so that people can get the trust, or you can enjoy, you can get the trust easily from the people, because both of them are financially rich. At the same time, they have a track record of doing good business into the finance in the insurance product in the past years. So, in the financial market, you will find this is quite common, because in case of the financial market, all the business or majority of the business run based on the reputation, because if the player do not have a much reputation, then people do not really secure the trust of the people relating to that product. At the same time, when you are looking for a particular name, you need to see that that particular name is not already exist in that name. There is a no existing business organization or the company, and it is also not a trademark or brand name of any particular product or the company who is operating in that particular market. So, what people say that it should not be deceptively similar when you are incorporating this particular company. Now, you will find that Ministry of Corporate Affairs has given a detailed guideline relating to how to choose the name of a company if it is incorporating as a company, and at the same time which are the names should be prohibited in taking as a name of a new venture. So, I will advise you that you should log into the MCS site, and now it is automated. You can put the choice of your name and try to check that this particular name is available in this particular market or Indian market or not. So, name is one of the important issues in case of the joint venture. Now, the next thing you need to decide on location of the register office of the joint venture and location of the project. Now, while you are deciding on the location of the register office, you need to look into the different issues, like is your register office is somewhere located which is in proximity of the business environment. That means, it is always advisable that wherever there is a financial institutions or wherever there is a other companies are there who provide the different kind of service like credit rating, or the merchant banker if you wanted to go into the market tomorrow, or there is a asset management company, you should have your company registered in those particular place, because it is a matter of the convenience to take the different service which you wanted to take. At the same time, you are also required to locate your factory which might be quite near to the availability of the raw material or the workforce which you are technical workforce which you are looking for, or there might be a specific infrastructure facility which is required for your business. So, the finding the location of the register office as well as the project location is one of the important decision in case of the joint venture. Like many of the time you will find, if you are dependent on the minerals, you will try to locate your factory near to the mines, so that the transportation cost will be less. At the same times, you will have a continuous supply of the mineral on which you wanted to develop the product. Similarly, you might be highly dependent on the transportation, and it will be good if you can access the railway transportation facility. So, you might like to get a proximity with the railway infrastructure, or you might sometimes even look into the highway infrastructure which might help you to transport your goods from or the raw material into your factory or the finished good to the outside market. So, these are the some of the strategic decision which you need to look into this. Many of the time, even the labors or the accessibility of technical labor is one of the issue. And like if you are a software company or if you are more in a service oriented company, possibly you might prefer the Bangalore as a location, because you will find that it has created a service ecosystem, or the the business which provide ecosystem for service companies. Now, let me come into the next point is relating to incorporation of joint venture business organization. I think in my last lecture I have detailed out that what type of organization you should choose for the joint venture, and it is also not necessary that you need to have a formal business organization. But if you choose the business organization, then you should find out that which business organization is suitable for you, which that particular business organization is matching with the objective of the business which you wanted to pursue. Will it going to give you the scale of operation which you are looking for? Will it going to help you in the growth in the future? Will it help you in raising the capital from the market? Will it give you kind of credibility before the market? Will it give the attraction to your future workforce, so much so forth. So, when you are choosing the organization, there is a several criteria which should come into the picture. At the same time, do not forget about the regulatory requirement. because in some of the regulatory requirement they prescribe a specific form of the business, and you need to incorporate your business if you want to operate in that particular segment. At the same time, they do prescribe a capital requirement. So if you have a huge capital requirement, you cannot incorporate your business as a partnership. You need to incorporate your business as a company, because in that case only you can address the huge capital requirement or capital need. So again, incorporating or choice of particular business organization, how to incorporate that, this is a matter which you need to address into your joint venture, or before you go for negotiation in a joint venture. Now the last one is quite important. It is relating to finding the right kind of people who is going to work in your organization. Now you need to find out that who will be the key managerial personnel in this joint venture organization. Is it that these people will come from a parent organization, and if they are coming from a parent organization, they are coming in which terms and conditions? So are you going to select the people from the parent organization, or you are going to select a new set of people for this new organization, or you are going to adopt, or you are going to invite some of the people who are operating in some other market to come and join into this particular market, because there can be some kind of a regulatory prescription, and there can be some kind of a market requirement. Like let me try to give some illustration. Like if somebody wanted to be a director of any company at present, then in that case they are required to acquire a director information number from the Indian regulators. So somebody might be a director in some company, in your partner company in foreign country, but if they wanted to come in India and operate as a director, then they require to take a director identification number. Now Indian law do prescribe relating to how to appoint the directors, what should be their qualification to be a director, what kind of director he is, because if your joint venture is ultimately incorporating a company, and if it is a public company and public listed company, then in that case you need to comply with the regulatory mandate, and regulator prescribe what should be the composition of the board of directors, and in that particular board of director, how many people will be the executive director, how many people will be non-executive director, and how many people will be independent directors, and you need to comply with this particular requirement. Now these particular types of the directors are different from each other. Like if the person is a executive director, then he generally having a contractual relationship with the company, that means he is an employee of the company. But when you are talking about the non-executive director, they are basically appointed by the shareholders. Again, the independent director, there is a procedure has been laid down, and wherein the qualification of independent director has been prescribed. In the board, there might be a director from the creditors who are giving a credit to your business joint venture, and that particular person is generally known as nominee director. Similarly, in the board, there can be a person who is foreign directors, or who may be the alternate director. Foreign director is a person who generally come from your foreign partner into this joint venture board, and the alternative director means the somebody who act on behalf of a foreign director in his absence. He is known as alternative director, and there might be some directors who are the additional directors who have been appointed by the board for addressing the particular expertization requirement, expert requirement or expertization which board is looking for. So what I am trying to drawing your attention, that you need to decide about the management, or who are the people who is going to manage this joint venture company in post incorporation scenario. and these are the issues which you need to do a homework before you even go for a negotiation table. So, my advice is, this homework should be done before you go for a negotiation in a joint venture. Thank you.